Just like my last dimensional lumber project, I'm going to be making this chest out of nothing but 2x10 boards. These are 2x10 pine that are kiln dried, and I purchased a couple weeks ago and have been sitting in my shop. And also, just like the last project, there's going to be a lot of waste with this because I'm cutting out the center pith area of each one of these boards to leave me with the quarter sawn material on either side, and I'm also cutting out all of the knots to hopefully not have any defects in this entire project. I'll rough cut everything first with the miter saw and table saw, and then get everything down to its final dimensions before I actually start the assembly process. Before I get too far ahead of myself on the rail and style frame pieces, I need to work on the panel pieces. Now this is 1.5 inch thick material, which is way too thick to plane down to 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to rough cut it at the table saw, joint two faces at the jointer, resaw all the pieces in half, and at that point I can glue the panels together. I resawed a couple of the panel pieces at the bandsaw and was getting some really undesirable results because of the blade, so I'm going to switch over here to the table saw. It's going to take a little bit longer, but I will get a lot better results. As the glued up panels cure in the clamps, I'm going to go ahead and go through the milling process for all of the rail and style pieces. I went through a dry assembly process on all the frame pieces to make sure that everything fits and there's going to be no crazy situations that'll pop up during the final glue up. That also allowed me to determine the final sizes for the solid panels that'll go on the inside, so I can go ahead and cut those to size, sand them down, pre-finish them, and I'm ready to glue up all of these frames. The legs are going to be a little bit thicker than the 1.5 inch thick material that I'm working with, so I'm going to laminate 2 pieces together for each leg. And each leg is going to be tapered, but I'll do that at the very end after all the joinery is cut for each individual leg. A lot of this project is just repeating the same cycle over and over and over. You rough cut, you joint, you plane, and you cut to the final size. You rough cut, you joint, you plane, and you cut to the final size. You rough cut, you joint, you plane, and you cut to the final size. You rough cut, you joint, you plane, and you cut to the final size. You rough cut, you joint, you plane, and you cut to the final size. You rough cut, you joint, you plane, and you cut to the final size. You rough cut, you joint, you plane, and you cut to the final size. Now I repeated that process once again on all the legs once they were out of the clamps, and I put some blue masking tape on here to let me know the exact sides that I want to put the taper on, as well as the corner that will go towards the inside of the chest. This will allow me to predetermine all of the grain that will be exposed on all 4 legs and make sure that it ends up that way in the final assembly. Now, speaking of assembly, this is going to be attached to all of the frames with floating tenons, and I've already pre-milled all of my lumber for the top panel, and I don't want to run this through the planer again, so to make sure that the tops stay perfectly flush, I'm going to use floating tenons as well to glue this up. I want to talk with you real quick about the sponsor of this video, Leesa Mattresses. Now, you may remember that last month I got rid of my old pillow top mattress and put a Leesa mattress on my bed. Now I want to make sure that the guests of my house get a good night's rest as well, so this time my bunk bed gets the upgrade. Leesa mattresses are luxury mattresses ordered online and shipped directly to your door, which means no more wasted time dealing with the hassle of department stores. Simply open the box, remove the vacuum sealed bag, and watch it expand to its original size, which is actually pretty cool to watch if you ask me. So I've been sleeping on a Leesa mattress for about a month now, and I really like it. But even more importantly than that, my wife likes it. And as the saying goes, happy wife, happy life. To make your new mattress experience 100% risk-free, Leesa's giving you 100 nights to sleep on it, and if you don't absolutely love it, they'll pick it up and give you a full refund. Now, for every 10 mattresses sold, Leesa's donating 1 to those in need at a homeless shelter. And they also want to give all of my friends watching this video $75 off their next mattress purchase. Just go to leesa.com/J, that's 2 E's in Leesa, and use the promo code J75 at checkout. That's leesa.com/J. Make sure you use that URL so they know that I sent you. Thanks to Leesa for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you for being awesome. Now let's get back into the shop and finish this project. I'm cutting a dado on the inside faces of all of the frame assemblies near the bottom to accept a plywood panel. I dry fit the whole assembly really quick to not only determine the size of the bottom panel that will fit in this dado, but also to determine where I need to notch out the legs so the bottom panel can fit inside the legs. My original intentions for the lid on this project was to make a traditional mortise and tenon style breadboard end. However, my plunge base on my router broke right before I started this project, so that's out of the question. Instead, I want to eliminate every bit of metal from this project, which was basically just going to be the hinges and lid support, and make the lid a tray that is removable, which is actually beneficial because I'm not entirely sure how this will be used in the house, and if there is decorative items on the top of this, then the entire lid can be removed without disturbing those items and then be replaced later. Now, as it is replaced, I want to have some type of indexing system to where it just sits in place and won't move around, or it easily returns to the same spot. So I've left all 4 of these legs 1/4 inch proud of all 4 of the sides, and I'll make some corresponding shallow mortises on the bottom side of the lid. I'm not too concerned with wood movement of the lid interfering with the placement of these mortises because it made all of the grain in the lid glue up vertical. So expansion and contraction should be in the vertical direction primarily.
Wax on, wax off. Don't forget to breathe. Very important.